Want to join the conga line? This character's definitely doomed. Wow. And this is at normal walking speed. Bear in mind he's absolutely terrified. I think we can still keep them that way. Let's see if it's the usual problem that I hit when I start up the server. Are we going to hit a black wall? Hello everyone and welcome back to Project Zomboid. I'm your host, 2005 Guy 02. Okay, so today we're going to have a little look at self-hosting. I've been playing around with it for a while now. I've also done maybe about 20 hours worth of recording in it, and I hit some major weird snags. Even though I set spawning to, let's say, a month to a year, or a month and a couple of months, spawning was happening really quickly, and it was. I looked in the container. I was already full. Came back, let's say, 2 days later in the game, and there was even more in that particular container. I was going, "What the hell is going on? That should not have been in there." And then it was in the game. It also says that if you've got if you've got barricades up on a building, and there's containers in it, loot will not respawn in those containers if you've got barricades up and everything else, if you've classed it as your home and stuff like that. And loot was actually spawning on top of items that were there, as well as items that I had placed in those containers. And I was going, I don't remember that being there. I don't remember that being there. What the hell's going on? So we're going to have a little look at self-hosting. Bearing in mind the first time I had a little crack at this, for example, if we go to self-hosting, the memory was set for 2 gigs. I quickly found out 2 gigs not enough. Luckily enough, I've got 32 gigs on all of my computers, and I do mean all of them. I won't go any lower than that. I try to max out RAM as much as I can on all of the boards that I get. That way, I'm pretty much covered for anything I try to play or use. Some of the CAD software, if I were to reinstall it at some point, if I can find the keys and the bits that go on the back of the computers and all the other crap that goes with it, I cannot afford new types of CAD because they're subscriber based, and I will not subscribe to CAD software. At the time, I didn't mind buying it outright for $6,000 because I knew that I had a physical copy of it and I could just use it when I wanted to without too much interruptions, no additional costs or anything like that. But no, the new versions of CAD, subscriber only. There's no in hell I'm going to go down that route. But that said, going back to the RAM, when it was set for 2 gigs, I did about 10 minutes worth of playing in game, and straight away it came up with a black border, and I couldn't go anywhere, which meant that there was an error on the server. So I went through all the settings again, removed all the mods because I had some mods in there, just thinking maybe the mods were giving some grief. I upped it to 4 gigs of memory, and I hit start, and it got stuck in a loading screen for hours. And after about an hour and a half, I thought, screw this, delete it, start again, up it to 8. Hopefully it will let me in this time, and it did. But, and there is a but, the character did not have any weapons, didn't have any clothing, didn't have anything that I gave in the settings, and I'm going, crap, well, fuck it, pardon me. Let the zombies kill the character and see if we restart with the things that we're supposed to restart with. Like enough, we did. However, I forgot to plug in my microphone at the time. So I did about 20 hours worth of recording, learning a lot of steps off Project Zomboid at that time, without any vocals going across the video. So I went, bollocks. Well, let's just delete it all and start again, and hence we are here. Now, one thing I will have to do is I will have to do the first screen that comes up when we go into manage settings. I'll have to do that as a screenshot. I cannot do that as a voiceover and video, because it will come up with information that is, let's say, personal to my computer, my IP address and stuff like that. I don't know why they have to put these types of settings in there at all. It would be nice if there was just a hide all personal internet type settings in there, but it doesn't. So there are a couple which I'll have to do as a slideshow. And I think it's only 1 or 2, so it won't be too much. And then you'll basically see a picture of it, but I will be hiding the numbers. I'll be basically cutting those out and then probably having it as a black overlay or something like that, just so that I don't get hacked or I think the team term is called DDoS or something crappy and stupid like that. I don't know what DDoSing is exactly. I've heard that it's something like lots of people sending packets and bombarding a server that way and causing the server to lag and crash. I have no idea how that's done. I don't know how it's set up. I don't know how to combat it. So I'm not going to go down that route, and I'll do anything to protect those my connections, because not only am I not the one that pays the bill for the internet, it's already slow enough as it is. Bearing in mind it's supposed to be this business broadband. But that said, let's get into the actual settings and delete the world, delete the player. Albeit we'll still have to kill the player once before we can actually get started properly. But that said, let's delete the player. Yes. Delete the world. Do I want to do the user Zomboid save? So if you want to know where everything's saved, that's where it is. Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay, so that's now deleted the whole shebang. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the settings bit by bit and then see how it goes from there. Okay, so I stand corrected. It's not this this screen. So this is the first one after it, and it's not the second screen, but it's the third one and possibly the fourth one. That will be the slideshow. So here we have the next screen that you'll see after you come into host. So it says everything will be saved in this folder, and yes, at the moment my my username is called user. That's because I let somebody else have a look at my computer when I was having lots of trouble getting the new parts to behave together. Basically, the computer got us stuck in a awful boot loop, and I couldn't get my head around what the hell was going on. And apparently, I had a faulty reset button, and I didn't know it. So that was a little bit annoying and a little bit embarrassing and very, very costly. So all we need to do now is we need to create a name for the server. So at the moment, it's called server test INI. And these three are basically all the different things that are in there as well. So let's change the name to that one. Oh, oh boy. Oh, damn it, O's instead of zeros. What the hell? Oh yeah, the zeros are smaller than the, yeah. That's the weird thing about the font that they used in this game. That the zeros are the exact same size as the O's, so it looks like Sue or So when it's actually S00 or Susan 00. But that's a bit weird. Though I guess I could do posted. Space 00. Let's do that. I'm not sure if having spaces in between all those slots is good or the characters as well, because even that's got an underscore and then spawn bits behind it. So that said, let's go with that. I'll hit next and then we can start the slideshow because, yeah, I'm going to have to black some things out. Okay, so that's those two out of the way. So details and Steam is basically the one that's got, or the two that have got issues, basically straight away displaying information that we really don't want to get out there. Brownwad, I think I forgot to change one item in there, so I'll have to go back over that afterwards. So straight away we've got next one, which is Steam Workshop, and then you've got mods below it, which is basically identical to this one. So we've got here a list of mods that I've downloaded, and apparently when I put in all these five, there's an error, so we're not going to bother with the mods at the moment, not until we figure out what the heck's going on and which one's causing the error. So mods, it's like I said, it's identical. It's just add installed mods to the list. If you add them through here, they'll appear here anyway. If you know another mod by ID, you can also add it, but there's no point. So this particular one is basically a mood point map. You can add basically all the maps, but you do need to know their names, and then you can just add the maps to there. The way I did it last time was I went here, and let's say map, Mulder, whatever it's called, is up the top there already. So we just click on that one, highlight that, copy of that with Control C, go to map, go here, paste, and return, and there we go. It added that one there. So once again, I'm not sure if that's basically shows people what maps are already well, what is in those areas of the maps. But at least if it's just another redundancy thing, we can just say, okay, there we go. That's all four of them anyway. So you've got 4 spawn locations where we can choose from. Players, we can have up to 16 players. Let's decrease that one to 10, just to be on the safe side. And I don't think many people, even from within my little group, will actually decide to jump on. Bear in mind, I have put a password in there. So anyone that wants to join, please just ask for the password. Because I'm hosting, this server will not be up 24/7. It will only be up when I'm actually on. So if you want to join, just send me a friend request through Steam as well. Make a little note that you've done both on the video, or also after hitting friend request. Basically, my name on Steam is identical to my YouTube name. I did that on purpose so it makes it easy to find me. Also, the icon is also identical to make it that little bit easier to find. Okay, so moving on again. So we have auto creates user in whitelist. I don't know about that. Add unknown usernames to whitelist when players can join. Clients supply their own username password on joining. I don't think we're gonna mess about with that. It's not. Then again, basically, I'm also looking at the settings that basically Angus did for his actual server. So for some reason, he's got that one ticked as true. So that's interesting. Now everything seems to be all over the place on the server options bit under the actual servers. Basically, if you go to a server, you can actually see all the options that are actually selected, and I've basically got a little screenshot of that on the other monitor, so I can use that as a reference to see what he's got versus what I had. Now I know that what I had was a bit buggy, so if we copy some of what he's got, then not all of it. He's got a couple of things there that I definitely didn't think were great. And when I initially set up the hosting server, I had a hell of a lot more zombies in the world than on the main server. For some reason, the main server, the zombies are not respawning all that fast. In the server that I initially created, they were respawning very quickly. Maybe a bit too quickly, because within the first half an hour, I had already killed 280 zombies. So that's well, maybe within an hour, actually. Within an hour, I killed 280 versus about 20 hours, maybe 30 hours. On the actual server, I killed 265 to date. So yeah, there's quite a difference there, and I broke the axe extremely quickly when hosting because of killing so many zombies. Versus on the server, I only recently broke my axe, and because of breaking it in the hosted game, I figured out how to repair it, and that there is a repair option. Also found out which materials are the best to use if you go about repairing them. So here's the hope that we start in a location that has a car very quickly, that we can jump in very quickly, and get settled into the game itself very quickly. Just have to hope that the respawn rate does not go silly like it did before, though. So that said, apparently he's got that set to true. Clients by their own username and passwords. username, yeah, that's fine. Password, that password is to make sure that that person's only got one character, so I guess we could do that. Drop off whitelist after death. Did he have that one? Drop. That'll probably be the next picture. One sec, guys. Okay, so apparently he's got that one set us off, so people don't get removed, so I'll keep that one off as well. Because let's face it, I'm not completely up onto server settings and how to set them up, so a little bit of a hint always goes a long way. Spawn items, item types, new players spawn with, separated in commas. Now, I did post on the, because of this one, I did post on discussions. It would be nice if we actually had a list, so that we could just put in things that we actually want everyone to start with. Because at the moment, all we can see is base axe, base big, hiking bag. I think last time I just put in the axe and that was it. Because I just did not know any of the items that we could basically put in there. So I think what we'll do is we'll add, once again, axe. I won't put anything else in there because I have no idea what we have to put in there, to be honest. But yeah, just axe it will do. So ping frequency, I don't know if there's anything that he set on there. Ping frequency, it's 10 on those as well. Ping limit is also 400. Kick players fast. False, yep. So we're not going to mess around with that either. Now all this I just basically didn't change at all. I did do one. Sleep allowed, did that one. Sleep needed, I did not add. But let's have a little look if he did that. Sleep. Where's the hell sleep on here? Sleep needed, false. So yeah, he did true on the sleep needed, but he did not take that one either. Players respawn with self. I think he probably had that one ticked, but I'm not going to tick it. Because if you want to get that stuff back, well, you're going to have to run for it. That said, every time I did spawn with self, always wound up getting bit straight away. So it just was not effective at all. So we're not going to do that. Spawn with other, split screen. I'm not going to do that one either. It's not something that I think is going to be all that great. Allow trade UI. Allow players to use the secure trade system. Yeah, that's fine. I have nothing against that. Player corpses on corpse removal. When allows for corpse removal triggers, it will also. Okay. I don't think I ticked that one last time. Let's see what he's got on there. He's got that one false as well, so yeah, not too bad. Trash all, trash delete all. Players can use this to delete delete all button on bins. I didn't do that one last time, and I don't think he's got that on the server either. I see trash all, yeah, false, so we're not going to do that either. I didn't really see a point in it at the time, and I still don't actually. What you do is just take it out and then dump it on the floor, and hope something else spawns in. If you do that, or if you actually server up server, I think I know why it is. It's because of server memory. Anything you dump on the floor, it basically create something else for the server to calculate later. So a delete all button might be a nice one to actually add. Players can use the delete all button on bins. So if it's got rubbish that you can't use, recycle or whatever, you just want to get rid of it, don't want to clog up the server. Let's see what happens. PvP melee, its reaction. I want to make a PvE, so let's not mug about with that. Mouse over the screen display name. If true, players will have the mouse over someone to see their display name. Why not? Player hides behind you. If true, automatically hide the player you can't see, like zombies. To be honest, if it's player, that's fine. I don't mind them being behind, don't mind you being able to see them behind you because, like I said, this is going to be PvE. But the zombies I want pretty much default, so I'll take that one. Player bump player. Bump push other players when running through them. Yeah, kept getting stuck on them actually, but let's not do the bump. Admin. So we've got a client command filter. Disable audio radio staff. Disable radio admin. Disable radio GM. I think we'll keep all those on default. I don't think we're gonna muck about with that. So I have no idea. I don't even know about that. So we're just going to keep that as is. File, no file. Why the hell is there a file that says no file tick? Let's not muck about with that then. PvP, no, we don't want PvP. Safety system, I think we do want that. Let's see what he's got on that one. Is it safety system? Yeah, safety system. Where's actually got that one as down as false? What does that thing do then? Place where you enter and leave PvP mode individually. A player must hurt another player only when one or both players are in PvP mode. Oh, okay, I can see why he removed that. Let's remove that too. Show safety. There's no need. Okay. So stuff like this, PvP damage. I think that would probably be a 0. Let's quickly double check. To be honest, it's got PvP melee damage still as 30. Weird. I would have said that would probably be a 0 if you don't want to if you want to make sure that they don't damage each other. But then again, with PvP off, it's probably given, and that just gets ignored if that's switched off. At least that's my guess on that one. Correct me if I'm wrong down below. Okay, loot. Allows for loot to respawn. After a container is looted for the first time, this is the thing that got me. If it's been looted, I thought, okay, if it's been emptied so many hours, it would be respawning. So I calculated how many hours in, let's say, a month, and I put that figure in there. So after a month in-game play, something would respawn, but it did not do a month. I don't know if they've got the months, the hours set for seconds or something like that. But yeah, it was not behaving properly. The other thing is, I think this is somehow linked to the zombies as well as to why we're not seeing any zombies respawn in the world on the actual server. So let's see what he's got down for that one, if it actually shows it to us. So hours for loot respawn. Yep, he's got down for 0. So where he said that loot respawns, yeah, he lied, or it was an oversight or something like that. But yeah, it could also, like I said, be linked to why the zombies are respawning so quickly. Maybe it's a bug that the devs have to sort out as to why the zombies aren't respawning all that quickly, if at all. So yeah. Next one is max loot respawn. It says 4. It's got that also defaulted as 4. Construction prevents loot respawn. There we go. So items will not respawn in the building that players have built. Structures in barricading counts. So if you put a barricading inside a structure or on a structure, the loot in that building is not supposed to respawn. However, when I add the hours for loot respawning, it it did respawn. It added additional loot to it, which was the weird thing. So it was a bit weird, to say the least. So we're going to recalculate how much is now, because I suspect it's in-game hours, and we'll have it set so that when we're offline, the world itself does not continue to spin. So we just pick up the pace where we left off, which is where I prefer to play anyway. So that said, let's do some calculations. So it's 24 hours within one day. Let's say one day is 30 hours. So let's do some calculations, make it about 2 months maybe. So in game, that is a freaking long time, especially if I increase the hour length to 3 hours each, which is my plan, because an hour for a day cycle is a bit on the short side. Okay, so 2 months equals 1,440 hours. Now, like I said, I think that's in-game hours, so it's going to take a fairly long time, especially when, let's say, a whole day is 3 hours real time, which is basically what I plan to set up as. So max items for respawning. So containers with greater or equal to the numbers of items will not respawn. So anything 5 or more will not be added. So if there's 5 or more of any item, I hope that's the case. Even if it's the same item, if there's more than 5 items, plural, in there, nothing else should spawn in there at all. A construction prevents loot respawn, so if we build on a building, no loot should be spawning additionally to whatever's currently in those containers. Maximum items that can spawn in the containers, 0 I don't want to do, because that means that we'll have non-stop containers exploding, and we don't even have to set foot out of the building. So I set it up to 6. So 6 is the maximum that can spawn in. So if it's got 5, it maybe adds 1 more item, and that's it. So that way we can sort of balance it out a bit instead of having things explode on us and we're going, hey man, that's not supposed to be there. That's not supposed to be there. What the hell's going on here? So hopefully that sorts out that little issue that I was having. If I've got it wrong, please let me know down in the comments below so we can sort out all this mess. Faction. So faction is ticked. Faction day survive. Sorry, faction day survive to create 0. Faction player required for tag 1. Okay. You will need to survive X amount of days before you're able to create a faction. Let's say we say everyone has to survive no less than 2 days. Faction players require for tag. How many players are needed before letting this faction create its own special tag? A special tag. That's something I'll have to look into later on. But let's say special tag. Let's say the faction needs to be up and running for, let's say, 10 days. A little bit under 2 weeks. Safe house. Basically, this prevents people from going, okay, I'm just going to jump on for a day and then create a faction and jump out again. And yeah. Admin safe house. Player safe house. Admin and players can claim safe houses. I think we did yes on the. Actually, it should say on. Oops. Okay. Oh, it's actually set for false on the. Oh no, that's the admin house. Only admins. And no, I'm not going to have the whole admin side of the thing on here because I just don't want to do that. It's just going to be a case of I'll be a plain player just like everyone else if anyone else joins. So player P. Player spawn house, safe house is currently on the actual server set for true. So we're going to do true as well. Safe house allows trespass. I think that's set for true as well. Yep. But we are going to do denied. If you're not a part of that safe house group, you are not allowed in there. Unless the door is missing. Then you can. Safe house allowed fire. Allow fire to damage safe house. Sure, why not? Safe house allowed loot. Allow non-members to take items from safe house. That's a very good question. Safe house allowed loot. Yeah, sure, why not? If they are able to get in the building, they can take loot out of it. Allow safe house respawn. Players spawn in safe house they are a member of before they die. No, after they die. So I think that one should be a denied. But let's double check the server settings that Angus has set up on his server to see if he's actually changed that. Respawn. He's actually set that to true. I'm not sure about the whole before die thing. It should be after death, not before death. But I'm a little bit tired on that. I'm not going to do that. If there was one that said after death, then I would say, yeah, I'll take that one, but I'm not going to take that one. Safe house dies survive. Safe house they survived to claim. So players must survive this amount of days. Before they can claim the safe house. Okay, game more days before they claim safe house. Again, let's set that one to 2. So that it's pretty much the same as the other one. Safe house removal time 144. Players are automatically removed from safe house if they have not visited this this many real world hours. Okay, so 144. I think that's 30. No. 144 divided by 24. Oh, multiply. 144 divided by 24 equals 6. So that's 6 days. Let's round it up to a week. Just be on the safe side. 24 multiplied by 7 equals 168. Yeah, why didn't I realise that? Just add 24. Boy, I'm having a bad day. Granted, my bed has finally turned up, so yeah, that was nice. It's a little bit lower than the last one. The supports are thinner, but they're made out of steel, so they're a lot more durable. So hopefully it won't buckle as much. And the thing that I noticed about the new bed is it's springy, very springy. Opposite to the previous bed, which you had to align two aluminium rods to prevent it from, let's say, collapsing in on itself. But yeah, let's get back into everything. So we've done the safe house bit. Let's have a look at chat. Global chat. I find that box a freaking pain in the ass. But even if we remove the global chat, that box still remains, and it just keeps coming up. So might as well leave it take for the moment. Okay, I have no idea what the hell this is, so I'm not going to mess with it. And looking at it, I probably should have done this as a screenshot. So I'll have to try and remind myself to. Well, actually, I can always just change the port after. I have no idea what the heck this is. Recon port and recon password. Just wondering if he's got that on there. Nope, it's not actually showing on the server options, so I don't know what the hell this is. Recon port and recon password, but I'll change the port number in just a sec, and then I'm going to find out what the hell this thing is, because I have no idea what the hell this is. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I've just posted a question as to what the hell is a recon. Okay, I didn't say what the hell. I basically said, can somebody please explain what the Archon port is, because I have no idea. So yeah, so we've got that one. It's got a port number in it. I've changed it because I don't know what it is. I don't know. I'll have to wait for somebody to actually explain it to me, hopefully in layman's terms. UPnP, I'll keep that as default because, again, it's not something I'm comfortable with messing around with. I'm not really particularly comfortable with changing that port number. But we'll have to have a little look at all that stuff later on, and hopefully somebody will come back to us very soon. Hopefully. The rest of it should be fairly easy to go through. Discord enabled. Sure, why not? Enable integration with Discord. The only thing is, I don't know how you do this stuff, and I don't have a Discord bot. I don't know how you set up the Discord bot and stuff like that. So with Discord, that is stuff I still need to figure out. Discord name, if you've got some troubles with it, use channel ID instead. Again, not sure how you do those. Maybe somebody that uses Discord more frequently can actually fill me in on how this type of stuff works. It will be most appreciated. Okay, so we'll just do enable Discord for the moment, but I don't know about this piece, and I'll leave that blank for the moment. We're skipping UPnP because that's something to do with networking, and not being a networking engineer or anything like that, I'm not going to mess around with that. So let's hit other, and we have do Leo checksum. What the hell? Click clients whose game files do not match the server. Oh, that's right, kick clients. Yeah, sure. Allow players to destroy world objects with sledgehammer. Sure, but where the hell is the sledgehammer in the game? I have not found that at all. So I wonder where you can actually find sledgehammers. Minutes per page. Is that why it takes so long in game to read a book versus on the server? I'm gonna have a little look at that setting. I think. Oops, wrong page. So what's that say? Minutes per page. Okay, minutes per page. Well, that explains a hell of a lot because that took forever. So basically, on the server, that is set to 0.01, and that's why it's so quick to read a book. Well, we're going to go with 0.1. I think 0.01 is a little bit excessive. 0.1 is fine. So it's 10 seconds per page instead of 1 second per page. Or something like that. Nighttime modifier controls how dark nighttime is. 1 is normal, 0 is bright. I think I'll probably have that one set to normal, but because I want to be able to do YouTube and everything else, I don't want to mess about too much with the brightness settings continuously because on the server recordings, I've had to put brightness to maximum, and some points I will have to put brightness to extreme backlight as well. Switch that option on because it gets really dark on the server during some points of the day. So let's put that to 0. We couldn't make that 0.1 just so it's a little bit dark. But I think 0.0 is still pretty damn dark. And that's to be completely honest with you guys because I've done that and I've gone out when it was dark on the hosted server that I initially set up, and that was still, it's not what I would call bright. I would still call that very dark. So save world every how many minutes? Load parts of the map. Loaded parts of the map are saved after this many real-world minutes have passed. The map is usually saved only after clients have loaded their area. That's a very good question. Save world. Okay, so he's got that down as every 30 minutes. So why not? I had it on 0 earlier, but if people do decide to join in, let's do 30. Okay, so fast forward every minute. Let's make it an hour. Fast forward multiplayer. How fast does time pass when everyone is asleep? I think 40 is fast enough. You don't want to go too fast, so you're constantly missing everything. So 40 is fine. Player save on damage. If true players will be saved every time they take damage. Yeah, that's fine. Every time you get hit, that gets saved, and sure, why not? Save transition ID. If true, will enable transition ID between client and server to avoid players copy and pasting their saves, sort of an anti-cheat. Sure, why not? Plus better lifespan. How many days? 0 means never move. It would be nice to have it actually removed so you don't have to get the mop out, but I think cleaning, unfortunately, is one of those things we'll still have to do anyway. So let's keep that 0 and we'll just clean it when needed. Allow non... Okay, acrylic? No, I'm not going to try and butcher that word. Characters in username. It's not taped for a reason, I think, so let's not. Physical delay and speed limit. Okay, oh, that's vehicles. Speed limit 70. Yeah, you can crash straight into a tree regardless. So yeah, 70. Is that miles or kilometers? Well, 70 is fine. I think 70 kilometers is 15 miles an hour. So whatever. Physics delay 500. I don't think we're going to mess with that. I don't think it's something that I'll be messing around with these ones. Voice enabled, voice complexity, voice codes, voice code quality from 0 to 10, 0 being best, 10 being worst. It's currently on 5. Fine, yeah, 5's fine. It's about halfway in between. Voice period, milliseconds, intervals. Okay, I don't think we're going to be messing around with this stuff. So let's just go straight into Sandbox. So we've got various presets. We've also got presets I've been mucking about with, but let's just go with whatever the current preset is currently. And Actually, I didn't even know which one I used as a base for these ones, to be honest. Oop, pardon me. I think Apocalypse is basically as it started, Survivor. I don't know what the presets are anymore. We'd have to, actually, we can do save. Let's go back. Let's go back again. Let's do solo, and we should see it here. So, Apocalypse, stealth focus, short lifespan, combat best avoided, Survivor, powerful combat, large lifespan, challenging playstyle based on PZ's previous scenario mode. I think that's what we did. Builder, construction, exploration, and farming focused. Custom sandbox. No, I think we did custom. Yeah, we did custom. So tailor your design your own. I think I probably used Survivor as a basis, so we're going to do that. So let's do back again. Host, manage, edit, where I'm going to have to temporarily pause. Okay, so let's set that to. Was it survival or survivor? Oh, damn. Let's just do survival. Apply preset. Okay, so population. Zombie count high. Urban focused. Okay. Time. Oh, just out of interest, what would everything be? We can go through the lifespans. If anyone wants to skip ahead, I'll put a little drop down here, saying when we're going through each one, and I'll try and note it in the descriptions down below as well. So I'm just going to put a small pause here so that we can just do it from scratch. Okay, so let's start with Apocalypse and see what the presets are for that. So without modifying it, we can modify them all later to our heart's content or something like that. So let's have a little look at population. Population is normal, urban focused, time 1 hour, start date month is July, start day is 9. Oh, must be the 9th day. Hour at 9 a.m. Well, we'll make that a little bit earlier, both of those, and we'll extend the day out to 3 hours. World, water shut-off 14 days, electricity shut-off 14 days, house alarm frequency sometimes, locked house frequency very often, food spoilage normal, refrigeration effectiveness normal, rotten food removal -1, and number of in-game days before rotten food is removed from the map -1 is food is never removed, 1 minimum, and quite a few million, billion, maybe even trillion for the maximum. Okay, so yeah, default. Loot spawn none. Items will respawn in already looted containers. In town and trailer parks, items will not spawn in player-made containers. Loot scene prevent hours. World removal list. Hours. Hours for removal list, remove wipe list, month since apocalypse. This will affect starting world erosion and food spoilage. Darkness during nights, normal. See, this is the thing. We made the nights bright in there, and it's normal there. So, yeah, that's probably why it was still pretty damn dark even at 00. So I guess we'll have to change that to bright later, just to see how dark or how bright it really is. Fire spread, generators working in exterior. Generators will not work on exterior tiles, allowing, for example, to power a gas pump. Will work on exterior tiles. If enabled, gas generator or generator will work on exterior tiles, allowing, for example, power a gas pump. Okay, so the petrol pump basically turns off when the electricity turns off, and doing enable on that, you can reactivate the gas pumps. That's nice. Governs how full gas tanks in fuel station will be initially. Okay, we'll probably be messing around with all that later on. Just out of interest, yes, they've got the billion and the maximum days, so it doesn't have to be 14 days. 14 days is pretty damn quick in game. Okay, nature. You've got normal 100 days, 0, everything's on normal, compost time 2 weeks. AI director, helicopter once, meta events sometimes. So yeah, I've had some awful times with the meta event. Happens at the absolute worst moment. Even if you set it to rare, you're surrounded by zombies, and all of a sudden, bang, something explodes, or there's a firearm going off, and you're going, oh, why me? And yeah, even on rare, and it happens a lot more than you think, even on sometimes all rare. Yeah, and there is a reason why. I think it's a reason why they put classed it as a sadistic AI director. It is quite sadistic. Well, I can't get the word out of my mouth anymore. So meta generator spawn sometimes, fuel consumption, so you can muck about with fuel rates. Randomized house chance, increase decrease probability of encountering a random safe house on the map, either burnt out, containing loot, stashes, dead survivor bodies, etc. So all that's set for rare. You could do extremely rare or never. So yeah, there is that kind of option. Randomized story vehicle story chance. So I'm not sure if these vehicles just turn up on the roads all of a sudden like they're a burnt out wreck or destroyed wrecks or something like that, and you're not expecting anything on that road because you had already cleared it, and all of a sudden you ran straight into a wreck. Now that could be the case, and that would be extremely annoying if that's the case. But yeah, I think we'll be keeping the vast vast majority of this on default later on anyway, depending on which preset we go for. Decaying corpse's health impact normal. Governs impact that nearby decayed bodies has on players' health and emotions. I think after a while, everyone will just go dead inside, and they'll in that type of reality, I think everyone will just go dead inside, and they won't pay any bit of notice to it. Loot rarity, everything's set for rare. So we've got fresh food, canned food, melee weapons, ranged weapons, ammo, medical, survival gear, mechanics, literature, and other. Character we have multiplier, XP multiplier 1, stats decrease normal, endurance registration normal, nutrition ticked, starter kit no, we won't do the starter kit. It's too easy with starter kit, let's put it that way. Free trade points, we will add a couple, just so that we can get the same character that we currently have on the server, because it's definitely something the type of character I would recommend. Although if we have that read speed that fast, we don't really have to worry too much about it. Rebuild construction strength normal, injury severity normal, bone fracture, clothing degradation. I hate that, but yeah, we'll keep that. Fear vulnerability high, so if a zombie comes up behind you, you can't see it until you turn around. Weapon multi-hit. I do like the fact that on the server, if you've got two zombies right next to each other, you can hit them both at the same time. I'm not sure if that's the same here, but it looks like it could be, so we could actually just enable that. Melee movement disruption. Disable walk impedance on melee strike. Not sure about that one. I think we'll keep that default later. All clothing unlocked. Do not select that. Absolutely do not select that. Basically, when you're doing the customer characterization, you get the choice of all the types of clothing, and when there are hundreds of different variations, you get all the extras. Yeah, do not select that. In-game allow minimap, so have to take that one if you want that little map in the corner. Allow world map, so that's the big map, so that's basically standard as being on. Allow all known on startup, so that would be Fog of War. So either show everything or don't show anything unless you've gotten there. Vehicles, so yeah, allow vehicles basically, yes. Easy use. If choose, cars will be unlocked with full gas tank and low engine noise. So that's no. Race and survivor vehicles, low. Zombie attraction multiplier 1, which is default. Car spawn rate low. Has gas, it's low. Initial gas low. Consumption is 1, so you can increase and decrease the consumption rate. I'm actually interested to know what that is on the current server. Bear in mind, I don't think that's being shown on the server options, where you actually look under that when you're on when you're playing on the server. Don't think it doesn't show you any of these, and I think that all this actually overrides anything that you've got here, basically. Card damage on impact, normal. So yeah, all that's I think pretty much what we've got there anyway. Well, most of it. I think that's probably all set to normal, to be honest. Zombie lore. So ticked proper zombies. So all this is basically default. So fast scramblers, normal, blood and saliva. 2 to 3 days. The animate 0.1 minute, 0 to 1 minutes. Cognition, basic navigation, crawl under vehicles, often, holy crap. Memory, none. Decomposition, slow. Weekends. Weekends. Sight, normal. Hearing, normal. Environment, text is off. Damage construction is ticked. Night and day activities both. House alarm triggered. Drag down. Fence luggage. And last but not least, population multiplier 1. 1 equals normal. Population multiplier adjusts the desired population at the start of the game, 0 being minimum, 4 being maximum, and 1 being default. Population peak 1.5, adjust the desired population on the peak of day, 0 minimum, 4 maximum, 1.5 is default. Population peak per day, 28. 1 again minimum, 365 is the max. So if you want to be completely surrounded by zombies within a couple of days, yeah, you can actually do that. Respawn house, number of houses that must pass before zombies. Okay, number of houses, hours, not houses, that must pass before zombies may respawn in a cell. If 0, spawning is disabled. Minimum 0. Maximum hours is 8,760. That must be a couple of years, or at least a year. Default is 72 hours. Yeah, 72 is quite reasonable. It's roughly 3 days basically. I think, yeah, 3 days. Respawn unseen hours. Number of hours that must chunk that a chunk must be unseen before zombies may respawn in it. 16 hours, yeah, quite reasonable. Respawn multiplier 0.1. Fraction of a cell's desired population that may respawn every respawn hours. 0 minimum, 1 maximum. 0.1 is default. redistribute hours 12. The number of hours that must pass before zombies migrate to empty parts of the same cell. If zero, migration is disabled. Default is 12. Follow sound distance. The distance a virtual zombie will try to work towards the last sound it heard. The default is 100, minimum was 10, maximum is 1,000, and yeah, they can hear and also see from quite some distance away. Relay group size. The size of groups of real zombies from when idle. Zero means zombies don't form groups. Groups don't form inside buildings or for sense. Minimum 0, maximum 1,000, default is 20. Yeah, the groups they can become extremely big. Even if you set it for 10, it can actually go up to 100. So I think that this one is bugged. Rally travel distance 20. Distance real zombies travel from groups when idle. 5 minimum, 50 maximum, 20 default. Rally group separation 15. The distance between zombie groups minimum is 5, maximum is 25, default is 15. I think I had all three set to 10, and yeah, it was hectic. Quite a lot of zombie slaying within the first couple of hours. Well, yeah, within the first couple of hours, and went through a hell of a lot of makeshift weapons. Rally groups radius 3. How close a group of sorry, how close members of a group stay to group's leader. Minimum is 1, 10 is maximum, and 3 is default. I thought maybe spread it out a bit, and yeah, that's a bit of a mistake. So that said, this is all the settings for Apocalypse. Let's have a little look at the other preset and then all the other presets, but we'll go through these a little bit quicker. Okay, so under Apocalypse, we went quite thoroughly through all the different settings, and I do recommend that to everyone go through that one, even though that one was fairly lengthy. But that said, we're going to have a quick look through all the others. So we're going to start with Survivor next and see what the presets are on that. But I'm not going to read out everything this time. We're just going to have a little look at it and then just go through it step by step. And then see if we can spot the changes, and who knows, we might do a couple of screenshots later. I don't think we'll actually do the screenshot later because time. We must have spent a good hour already, so I really didn't expect to go through everything with a fine-tooth comb and spend a good couple of hours going through it. So that's not really the plan. So let's go through all the next ones bit by bit. I'll clip it here so that I don't have to keep repeating the same old. And let's start with Survivor. Okay, starting with Survivor. Let's have a little look at the preset. Let's hit Apply. Population, normal and open focused. Time, is the same as Apocalypse. That one looks fairly the same as Apocalypse. 1414, sometimes, very often, normal, -1, none. Same shirts, 24 hours, not ticked, 0, normal. Fire spread ticked, a working generator, 0, ticked. Gas stations, also that's basically the same. Nature, temperature, rain, everything is normal. So that's also exactly the same. Sadistic AI is also the same. Meta is, I think, the same. Its rarity is the same. Character. Okay, so it shows up in yellow, basically what's changed. So you've got rear visibility set to low, and multi-weapon hit, which is ticked. So these are the only two that have changed so far in here. So you've got a little bit of rear view, so if a zombie approaches you from behind, you can quickly run away. Even if you're putting stuff in a vehicle or taking stuff out, you definitely have that little bit of awareness to say, there's something behind us. So that's actually quite nice. In-game allow minimap, so yep, that's another good one. The rest is all the same. Zombie lure has changed. Strength is weak. Drag down is off. Drag down, when enabled, if multiple zombies are attacking, they can drag you down to feed, depending on zombie strength. Okay? And advanced zombie is default. So that said, let's go to the next one. Builder. Let's do the presets on it. Population. Zombie count is set to low. Changing this set population multiplier advanced option. So basically we've got less zombies than normal. Time is default. That's all default. Default again and again. Loot has changed to where you've got loot rarity. Food and canned food is just rare. And all the weapons, ammo, medical supplies, they're all extremely rare. Holy crap, and I thought that rare would have been hard. Okay, character. Stats decrease fast. I thought this preset was supposed to be builder. Okay, endurance, normal nutrition, normal starter kit takes. I don't like the starter kit. Yeah, it starts you off with a bag and some tools, and it gives you basically all the building tools right there and then. No, I rather have it set that you actually have to find the tools. I actually liked it when it was that little bit more difficult to find to actually get into that sort of thing. So you actually had to go around and loot up where you can, how much you can, and stuff like that. Constantly watch your weight limit as well while doing so. Play build structure strength is high. Injury severity is low. Fractures, yes. Clothing degradation is fast. Okay, that's another surprise. Rear vulnerability is low. Multi-hit is normal. It's ticked, which is not normal, but it's definitely something I liked. Minimap. Everything there is default. Okay, zombie is changed. You've got weak and fragile zombies, poor sight, poor hearing, and drag down is unticked. Interesting. Okay. And then you've got population multiplier is 0.2. The default was 1. Population start multiplier is 0.6, where the default is also 1. So yeah, less zombies. They can't drag you down when they jump up when they fall over a fence. But yeah, it's different. So next one up, initial infection. That's going to be an interesting one, I think. Let's have a little peek at it. I might not even have to just do these separately. We can just blast straight through them. Apply preset. Population low. Default. Okay. Auto shutoff is set to 600. Default is 14. I think that's how many days, right? I think it's how many days. So auto shut off 600 days, electricity shut off 600 days. Could be hours. I think it stays. House alarm frequency extremely rare. Locked frequency extremely rare. Spoilage slow. Effectiveness high. And gas full. Nice. So that's the fuel tanks in the fuel station. Nature. Farming speed fast. Plant resilience very high. Farming abundance very abundant. Nature abundance as well. So the nature one. Oh, that's fishing and foraging. Okay, that's interesting. That's all default. That's all default. Okay, so everything here, including the ammo, the medical, and survival gear, is all abundance. Sorry. Character. Okay, a little bit faster on the XP, and you get the starter kit. Okay. No matter what we're going to do today, is we're going to not have that starter kit. Our minimap is off. Okay. Recent survivor vehicles high. Governs when player can discover a car that has maintained and care for the before. Sorry, after the infection struck. I'm having issues because it's that late in the morning already. Yeah, I'm partially night owl, especially currently. Car respawn rate high. Car has gas high. Initial gas very high. Locked frequency extremely rare. General conditions high. Zombie law. Speed is shambles. Weak, fragile. Cognition. Navigate. Okay. Calls often. Memory short. Sight is poor. Hearing is poor. And environmental attacks is on. Okay. And advance. 0.5 instead of 1, 0.5 instead of 1, 1 instead of 1.5, 50 instead of 28, 240 out of 72. So that takes a long time for them to respawn. Rally size 5, distance 5, rally group radius is 5 instead of 3. Interesting. And of course, we can customize the hell out of that lot too. If we just make up one. So that was initial infection. We could do 1 week later. I suspect that all the resources will be pretty run out. Low zombie count, 600. Extreme alarms are rare. Spoilage low. Refrigeration high. Gas full. Nature. That's the same as the last one. I'm surprised that this is still abundant. I would have said that would be normal by that point. So that's still the same as the last one. Vehicles, recent high, car respawn rate high, log frequency extremely rare. So it's pretty much the same as the last one. That was quite surprising. Or did I not hit apply? That could be it. Yep, I did not hit apply. So high zombie count, alarms rare, as log frequency rare, gas is still high, farming abundance and nature abundance, but the speed is all normal. That's still the same. That's still the same. Loot is gone to common. Characters normal. Car rate is normal. Transfer of gas is still high. Initial gas normal. Car alarm frequency rare. Zombie lore. Speed is fast. Shambles. Weak. Navigate. Short. Poor. And environmental attacks. And then the population multiplier is normal. That's slightly higher than the last one, and the same with all these. Okay. Preset. And you've got survival, and then 6 months, and then freedom to a point. Freedom to a point is one I did myself. I probably misspelled freedom, so that's how you know. So high. All these are normal, that's why we're skipping straight past them. Oh, is there any changes? Okay, so that's completely set to default again. 6 months later. That's gonna be bad. Insane. December, so you're starting in the winter. Short off is immediate shut off of both those. So quite locally limited to what you can find in the world. Frequency never has, locked houses never. Food spoilage is still normal. Once since the apocalypse, 6. Nature version is fast. Abundancy is very abundance. I'm surprised that that is still default. I think we're going to increase that. Meta is default. That's default, default, default. Vehicles, load frequency never. General condition very low. Car alarm frequency never. Do hate those car alarms. Strength is weak. Navigate and attack. And this is slightly less. No, this is increased actually. Default is 3, so all that's actually increased quite a bit. Okay, so that said, we're going to set up our own preset. So we're just going to set everything back to default. So that's Apocalypse. And then we're going to create our own. So I'm going to put a small break here. I know it's been a very long video so far, and I don't want to make it too much longer. So I'm just going to go through a little bit of it, just tick here, that tick there, and change whatever. And I shall see you guys once I've gone through it, and then we can just go through what we've just created. Let's do that and just save and re-edit. Okay, and let's see how it goes. Okay, so I've just finished setting up our settings, or the settings that we'll be playing by. So straight off the back, zombie distribution is uniform, so it's both in the buildings, in the towns, and outside. So the zombie counts are absolutely all across the board, not just one out of the two different versions. Time, we've increased the day length to 3 hours. The start date is basically my birthday, so the 28th of May, but at 7 a.m., not midnight or anything like that from the previous morning or the previous evening, depending on how you look at it. I think I was a couple minutes after midnight or something daft like that. So water shut off after a year, electricity shut off after a year. That gives us enough time to muck about and learn what we need to learn in order to get all the water cooked and boiled. I still haven't figured out how to boil the water. Collecting dirty water is fine and dandy and everything like that, but actually figuring out how to boil the water, it just does not do it. Not when I try it. So that's at a 365. Just to start with, we could always adjust it if we have to. Adjust it back down if once we actually learn how to do all these things. I might just drop it down to 50 days, depending on how many days have gone by. So that said, house alarm frequency is rare. Can't remember what the default was. I think it was set to extremely rare. I've just made it rare. Houses log frequency sometimes. I guess I'll have to go back over the previous footage to see where it was, but I've basically got them rare. Locked houses are sometimes. Food spoilage is normal. Refrigeration is high. Rotten food is normal. Loot respawn is every 2 months. Scene loot prevention hours. So if loot is in there and we haven't been there for a while, nothing gets added. At least that's theory. I don't know without actually going through it again. But loot will not spawn in zones that have been visited within so many hours. So if you've been in that area within 2 months, have not been in that area that area within 2 months, the loot will respawn. So instead of not having any loot respawn, we have to go somewhere else for those 2 months before the loot respawns. Hopefully, that will sort out the loot issue that we were having before. And that's big, hopefully, because I have no idea if that's the case or not. Also, I don't know if it means it's just like loot container or that area of the map completely. So, yeah, that's a very good question. One that I can't answer without posing lots of difficult to answer questions straight to the devs using Steam discussions. So that said, we can also have darkness during night set to bright, because that's the setting that we had here, which for some reason this is overriding that. So that's basically what we're going to have. Fire spreads default, generators default, gas amount is normal. Nature, we have temperature normal, rain normal. It rains a awful lot in game. I do have to say that I was actually very tempted to make the rain rare. Erosion speed, 100 days for something to grow. Don't want to do any mucking about with it. Farming speed is normal. So that again gives us enough time to learn how to do everything. One thing I have found out is that if you do the gullies for the seeds, I don't know what it's called, the class exactly in the game. If you till, let's say, I think it's like tilling. If you till a whole field, you don't increase your gardening status with it. So your gardening XP. So I don't know how we increase that. So we need to figure that one out before we actually start the farming properly. And just on the off chance I've got resilience to disease, just put that high for the moment. Abundant and abundant. Compost time, so composting takes 2 weeks. Maximum fog intensity. The fog can get super bright. It's like looking at a snowstorm on your screen. It's brighter. It's almost bright as just a pure white screen, and that is really painful to the eyes after a little while. So I'll put that down to moderate, and the rain intensity I've put that down to moderate, just purely for processing speed of the computers. I have no idea what else what kind of computer the other person's got on the other side. So hopefully less effects on the rain, less processing power, and I help everyone a little bit. Snow on the ground. So if you've got if it's been snowing, we can just see the snow, just like rain on the ground as well. Sadistic AI helicopter. I have yet to see the helicopter, so I'll put that down to sometimes. Meta event is default on sometimes, so that's basically those distant gunshots that we hear, and then we have all the zombies in creation barreling down upon us. So yeah, how often helicopters pass over the event zone? So yeah, we'll hopefully see a helicopter go over at some point when we hear one of those shots go off, or an explosion, or something like that. Sleep event. It's said to never, but I suspect that Angus has got that switched on to sometimes, because he got raided in his sleep by zombies on the server. So, speaking of that sort of stuff, so under meta we have everything primarily set to default, but when it comes to stories, I have not. I don't know what these stories are, so and I don't know how you activate these. So it's something that I'm interested in to see. So I've put them down to sometimes instead of being rare. So when we do find these things, we can have a look at it and go, okay, so that's what it is. And maybe give it a little bit more of a storyline to it as well. Who knows? Hobbs, decay corpse health impact. So, like I said earlier, if it's the apocalypse, you're just going to go emotionless after a while. You're not, if you're just a regular person, you're just going to go, okay, this is my new normal now. Like with all the jabs that everyone else is forcing on everyone else. I will not. I will let myself be swayed by these idiots that don't do their own bloody research. So yeah, the corpse decay. I've put that down to the impact of it. Put that down to none. So the corpses and stuff like that just does not bother us. Blood level I put down to normal because I'm not sure what that actually entails. I don't know if it's high blood pressure, low blood pressure, whatever. So I'll let that one stay normal. Loot rarity, instead of having everything on rare, I've just put everything on normal. So that way everything's just normal. Character, 1 XP. If it's going too slow, I might increase that to 2, but the books do increase that to speed that a little bit faster anyway, so I think 1 is fine. Starter kit, definitely not, so that's all default. The only thing I've changed in here is clothing degradation to slow, because the let's face it, it can go and break at the worst possible time, and let's face it, actual clothing does not get destroyed that quickly. Okay, actual clothing can get dirty and stuff like that, and bloody, of course, if you have that type of experience and field of expertise and stuff like that. I'm not going to go and say things that are going to cause too much trouble. But yeah, if it was a case of just dirt, then it wouldn't say degradation. So because it says degradation, I'll put that down to slow, because let's face it, clothing in reality does not break within 2 days, 3 days. Most clothing lasts for a good 6 months, year. Hell, I've got coats that are 30 years old. They were my dad's, they're mine, still use them, they still look pristine, they're very well made, unlike the crap that you get nowadays, and they just last. I don't know what the hell they're made of, but they last. So yeah, it's just one of those things. Rear vulnerability, so that we can see over our shoulders and stuff like that. I'll put that down to low, because, well, I guess we could do medium. Let's do that to medium, so we can just glance and then do that. Hopefully it'll be enough. Then you've got the double hit. I really liked that, so I put that one in. The minimap, show minimap, all known on start, so I think that's basically no fog of war. So yeah, let's hope that that's the case. Vehicles, so we've got basically everything that was basically rare that I thought was not that great. Let's just keep that to normal. So spawn rates, chance it's got petrol, gas in the US, initial amount, general condition of it, normal, siren shut off. Default was 0.0, which means it just keeps going until the battery is dead. But that's just a whole load of noise for how many hours. So I thought, let it shut off after an hour, and that way it just it's sort of like an actual car alarm. Let's face it, on an actual car alarm, it just doesn't. It does not keep blaring away continuously. It goes on for, let's say, 2 minutes, then it goes silent. And about half an hour later, it goes on again, and then it goes off. On, off. That way, trying to save some of the battery. Of course, it completely drains the battery flat if nobody goes to it. Hence why I put that down for an hour. And then basically everything else is default. Then for proper zombies, we've got shambles. So they just walk normal speed, and then they will run after you when you get to that sort of side to them. Transmissions live only, because whoever. Okay, for example, tetanus. Another reason why I wouldn't bother with jabs for that one. Well, when I was 10, I had the shot for it. When I was 12, my jaw looked wide open, hence why I don't bother with that type of jab, and why I will not trust any jab until I've got everything on the desk as to the information-wise, the side effects, risks, the whole shebang. I want it on my desk before I make a choice. And at the moment, for the one that's currently being forced on everyone, the fact that it does not prevent infection, it does not prevent the spread of infection, therefore it is not a real. So I will not do that one, period. And then there's a whole, if they do come up to me and want to stick it in me, there's the whole PTSD thing, and giving people heart attacks is not really a fun hobby of mine, so I try not to get into that sort of situation. So I put that down to saliva. I've cut myself so many times, and other than that whole jaw locking when I was 12 years old down at Southend, when I was trying to eat a bunch of fries, I had one fry in front of my mouth, opened up my mouth for it, my jaw looked wide open. And I didn't know what to do, so I gave myself an uppercut to close it, and it's been clicking ever since. And yeah, I got tricked into having a breaking jab a couple years, 15, 20 years ago. I got tricked into having this bloody booster jab or whatever it's called, and yeah, it still clicks, so it does not help at all. And then you've got crawling under vehicles. Put that down to extremely rare, because in the multiplayer server, when it comes up at some point, it will be in the distant future. Cap died in his vehicle, his character turned into a zombie, wound up underneath the vehicle, and they just couldn't get to the zombie without wrecking a car, trying to push the car off of the zombie. So hence why I put down extremely rare for crawling under a vehicle. And then the only changes here is that's down to half. Rally group size 10, because 10 is big enough. Travel distance, default is 20. Well, let's make it nice, same as the other, so that 10, that one also 10, and then increase the size from 3 to 5. And that's basically all the settings. So that said, let's hit save, and I shall see you guys in game in the next video. Sorry for making this one just purely for setup, but and some explanations as to the story of my life, and stuff like that. And sorry if I've bored you guys, when it comes to needles and stuff. You guys may be on a whole different side of it. You might not mind them, and you don't care about dangers involved with them and stuff like that. Well, that's all down to your choice. It has to be a choice. It has to be that person's choice, whether they will take it. They like if they like being lied to on a daily basis and stuff like that. It's all down to personal choice. It needs to be personal choice. It's actually with it. Currently, it's still within the Human Rights Act. It has to be a personal choice. So that said, I'm going to leave this video here. If you guys have liked the video, please leave a like. If you didn't, please let me know why in the comments below. Also, any information to any of the problems that we hit during the whole configuration of it, please again, just let me know in the comments below, and what you guys think, and we can take it from there. Also, if you're not subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button to help the channel grow, and the little bell icon and select all to get notified when the next video goes up. Thank you all for watching once again, and I hope to see you guys in the next video or one of the other videos for one of the other games to come. Bye for now. Which made it not so springy and a little bit more sturdy and very, very supporting on the back. So I'll have to have a little bit of sleep on it later on to see just how good, if at all, this new bed is for my back. Bear in mind that I put my spine out in 3 places, lower, mid, and top. While working in retail, recycling and warehouse and everything else in between. Yeah, I damaged my back quite severely, and those ways that you have to pick up boxes and heavy items from the floor. Yeah, I can't do that because of the osteoarthritis in my knees, and because of the back problems, I can't bend forward, and of course, it's not recommended to do stuff like that. Last time I did that was when I pulled out a rib muscle, and the next day I dropped a £600 iPhone or something like that on the floor of CEX, and bent forward to pick it up, and I was behind the counter at the time, or this display counter, and I felt the rib muscle drop down and clamp on my lung again. So I quickly moved to quickly turned around a bit as I whacked forward a little bit to try and grab that muscle and then pull it up. My back went, and I was already warned by the hospital. Watch out, if your rib muscle goes, your back can go as well. And yes, they both went near enough, one straight after the other. So I went, hit the wall, hit the cabinet, the glass shelf with my forehead, hit the wall, hit the glass, hit the next glass shelf, hit the wall. This is basically dropping down like a sack of potatoes. And then when I was finally down, and pain everywhere, and this bloody pain in my stomach, my chest, one of my colleagues came up to me and went, "Michael, are you okay?" I went, "No." So it was very painful. It takes a very long time for that. After pulling that rib muscle back up into place, it takes a very long time for that pain to go away. It's like when I dislocated my right shoulder, put that one back into place myself by copying the lethal weapon approach, where Riggs basically holds his arm up and then goes to the nearest wall or cabinet or something like that, something that's nice and sturdy, and goes whack back into the joint. And yeah, that it took me 2 tries to do that, and it was painful as hell. And the pain in my arm lingered for 13 months. And every time I'd roll over it in my bed, I'd wake up screaming. It was that painful. Um, yeah, the reason why I did it myself was I knew that if I went to A&E, it would be blood test this, blood test that. It would be a needle in my shoulder, which I would not want, period. And then they would do exactly something similar to what I did myself, but they would be more forceful. It would be 2 people, and it would be quite literally. And yeah, I did not like the thought of that, so I went, what would be the best way to do it myself? I went, I remember this from Lethal Weapon. Let's try that. And yes, it was painful, and it took a very long time for that pain to go away. And that's how I started the whole bit with getting cocodamol prescriptions. And I found that they work quite well, but they don't last very long. They only last for about an hour, especially with that type of pain. And also the pain with the rib muscle, it only lasts for an hour, and then you have to wait 5 hours before you can take the next set. So it doesn't really help alleviate it. And I also made the mistake once of taking the cocodamol without enough water. By basically, when I had a migraine, I stupidly took this cocodamol, and then I went to bed, which was really, really stupid on hindsight. It took me twice. This little irritation, this little problem, massive problem, to figure out what the hell happened in the first time to make that hell happen. So basically, I woke up screaming about 2 hours later, pain throughout my entire body. I was completely dehydrated. I mean, completely dry. If I stood, I had massive pain in my back. If I laid down, I had massive pain throughout my chest. I thought I was dying. It was really bad. So called out A&E, called out ambulance. They sent an ME round first. Gave me a 10 milligram shot of morphine. He said, watch out with this stuff. It could cause you to hallucinate. Nothing. I have no idea why they say it can cause you to hallucinate, because nothing happened. There was absolutely nothing. It was just normal, but the pain just refused to go away. So tried a different method of pain relief, and no, that didn't work. And then they put this freaking needle with tubes dangling it down it into my hand, and then called an actual ambulance out, and then they took me down to hospital. The ride was so bad, it was jumping all over the bloody place in the side of this tin can on wheels. It made me physically ill. And bear in mind that I was completely dry except for pure stomach acid in my stomach. That was jumping up all over the place in my stomach and up and down my throat, because that valve doesn't work. Too many boiling hot teas when I was younger in Holland. It was a case of arrive at hospital. Do you have a bucket so I can puke in it? And they come up towards me with this cardboard cup. I went, boom, straight into this. And of course, I'm just sitting there with pure stomach acid all the way down my throat and in my mouth. And do you mind if we grab a bottle of water out of that machine? And they went, no, sorry, you can't. You've just been sick. You're not allowed to drink anything. I'm going, how do I get rid of this freaking acid in my throat? Sorry, we're not allowed to give you anything to drink, but we'll come back with something to settle your stomach. So they came around with these two drugs that you can swallow to disable the acid. Yeah, that didn't go down well. The first one, down, straight back out. Second one, it smelled like licorice, and I don't know what the actual name of the substance is that smells like that. That down, straight back up again, and yeah, that didn't help. Water, please. Water will do it. Either that or a chocolate milk drink, just so I can dissolve that freaking acid. And I was not allowed to have anything for 3 whole hours, and I was still having lots of trouble with trying to control the pain. And then they brought me to one of these beds that the back end flops upwards, and I'm just laying down with my legs flat, but my body at a 45-degree angle. Funnily enough, that helped die down the pain a little bit. And then they added a 2-litre bag of saline, I think it's called, and a bottle of morphine, and that took away the pain straight away. But there was, again, no hallucinations or anything like that. But when that bottle of morphine went in, it felt like I had a block of ice going from my hand all the way up my arm and then getting stuck in my shoulder. My arm felt like I was being frozen completely, and I had to wrap my coat around my arm just to stop it from freezing, basically. It felt really cold, and I was getting really cold because of it as well. But it took away all the pain that I was having, just like that. And of course, halfway through this bag of saline, I had to go to the toilet really badly. I was not really suspecting anything like that, and I went, "Do you mind if I go to the toilet?" And it's okay. Well, the toilet's just down that way. All fun and games, but those bloody blood tests So even though I had this thing in my hand, they still insisted that I have a blood test. And they are so bad at that particular hospital when it comes to blood tests. I always wind up turning into a bloody pincushion. And bearing in mind, I have severe PTSD when it comes to needles. My blood pressure went sky high, and it was 165 over 120, I think. And they went, "Ooh, your blood pressure is massive." And I went, "Yeah, what do you think if you keep coming up to me with bloody needles?" Um, yeah, that said, let's get actually back into this game and not too much of my personal history. I'm sorry if I've bored you guys with that.